secondary target locations. So there is a way to get the Sparrow onto the Cayo Perico Islands.
Yo, what is up
by
everybody, it's
landing my
Michael Gaming
Sparrow
back with another
onto
video, and
my
today we're going to be
CEO
reacting to
office
some stuff.
And then taking off with it again, it dupes it. And if I place it in the right spot in the ocean, it will appear on the Cayo Perico Island. No, that'll do, it'll be fine. It'll be fine! He says, having no idea whether or not this will be fine. Uh-oh. I just caught on fire instantly! You know what? Fuck it. You guys want to see a Sparrow on Cayo Perico? Go watch my speedruns, alright? Hello, Pavel. Please don't ask what happened to my Sparrow. Let's make like a tree and get out of here. I don't normally bother killing these guys. I probably should have. Krim, you just hit yourself with a missile, man. Hope you feel bad, dude. Get off the ground. Wait. That's not how that normally goes. I've speedrun the heist like dozens upon dozens of times. This is the best RNG you can have for the plane. It's the fastest one. World record Inc. Like how it says, wait for my crew to enter the Velum, and it's completely unnecessary. Good job, Rockstar. I wait for no man. Don't you dare hit me. I said don't hit me. That is the opposite of what I requested. It like just warps me out of the plane. It's so funny. So I want this location here, I believe. If I kill someone, they'll
Today we're speedrunning Plague Inc, and we're going to be beating every plague on the hardest difficulty, Mega Brutal. So to start out, we're going with Bacteria, and right away a trick you'll see me doing is as soon as we see a pop-up, I'm going to press 3 to make the speed faster, and then we can go into this menu while the game is still playing. And along with it playing, it's also still going to pop up orange and red bubbles, and that means we can pop them while we're in this menu because we have the genetic code on Metabolic Hijack. Then for our other genetic codes, we have Creationist, which decreases the chance of your plague mutating, and that's good since we can prevent making our plague lethal too soon. Aquasite, which increases the chance of your plague spreading by sea, which is really important for places like Greenland. Extremophile, which gives your plague a minor bonus in all environments, and Symptostasis, which makes it so that symptom costs don't increase, but the plague is
Hey everybody, this is going to be an updated video guide on how to start speedrunning Undertale. Since I published my old guide, there have been a lot of changes that make this process significantly more streamlined and easier. So this is the definitive guide on how to start speedrunning Undertale and how to set yourself up. Alright, so here's how you get Linux 1.001. Go to your Steam and right-click Undertale to go to Properties. Go to Betas and then opt into the old version 101 beta. After you've done that, go ahead and install the game at the normal place. While that's installing, we need to go quickly grab a couple of things. The first is a program called Floating IPS, which can be obtained at supermarioworldcentral.net. Simply click this button right here, Floating IPS, and it will download right here. The other thing is from the UndertaleSpeedrun.com page. Head over to the Resources tab and scroll down to Patches. You're going to want to quickly grab 1.001 Linux on Windows Patches. Now, I already have all of this stuff installed, so I'm not going to show that, but yeah, that's what you do. So after doing that, Undertale will install. We need to navigate to the game files. So go ahead and go to this PC, your local disk, wherever you installed the game to, Program Files, scroll down, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Undertale. Take your Undertale folder and remove it. Put it somewhere on the desktop. We can go ahead and minimize all of this. Now, go into this folder and scroll down. We're going to disconnect the game from Steam by deleting steam_api.dll. This will disable the long load times that Steam gives and will also prevent cloud saving from getting in our way because cloud saving is extremely annoying with Undertale. Delete this. Now, we're going to go ahead and open up that file we downloaded from speedrun.com. That is this folder right here. The Linux folder. Open it up and there will be 2 patches and a readme. If you need more instruction on how to do this, the readme is very detailed and will give you the exact process of what you need to do. The first thing we're going to patch is the data.win. Go ahead and start and use it. Navigate to your installation of Undertale that you just installed and find data.win. It should be at the top of the folder. If you don't see anything, make sure to change from most common ROM files to all files. Then name the patch client, whatever you want. In this case, we're just going to name it data.win and replace the old one because we no longer need it. Patch was applied successfully. The next patch is for the runner, otherwise known as the .exe. So scroll down, it will be at the very bottom of the folder. Undertale. Open. Now name this undertale.exe. Replace it, and the patch was applied successfully. And there you go, you now have a fully functioning, completely patched Linux 1.001. If you plan on running 1.02 plus, the version you will want is 1.05. Just like before, we have a patch applied on speedrun.com that automatically downpatches Undertale to the correct version. Go ahead and install Undertale in the completely base form, just current patch on PC. You don't have to do any sort of finagling with any menus, just download it as is. Now, once again, go to the speedrun.com resources page and get downpatch 1.08 to 1.05. This is what you want to download. Again, you will also need to download Floating IPS or a similar patching program, which can be found at smwcentral.net. The link will be in the description, same as last time. Once you have those things and have downloaded Undertale, you're going to want to navigate to your Undertale folder. And in order to do that, we're going to go to this PC, local disk, program files, Steam, Steam apps, common, and here's Undertale. Remove Undertale and place it on your desktop. Go into the folder and scroll all the way down and find Steam API DLL. Delete this immediately. This will disconnect the game from Steam and remove the long load times and cloud saving. Next, go ahead and get the file that you downloaded, the 1.08 to 1.5 folder. Open it up, and it will have one file within it. Click it. Navigate to where you need to go and find your data.win that you just downloaded. If you're not seeing it, make sure to change from most common ROM files to all files. Data.win and use it. Name this whatever you want, but I'm just going to go ahead and name it data.win because I no longer need the old data.win. And that's it. Once you've applied the patch, you now have version 1.05 extremely easily without any of the Steam patching required. As you can see here when we open the game, version 1.05. In order to true reset the game, it's actually very simple. After disconnecting the game from Steam and following the previous instructions, we're going to go ahead and find Undertale's save directory, and this is very easy to find. Simply open up your start menu and open run. Now, go to app data, and this will take you to this folder here. Go to your local folder and scroll down, and you will see one of two files, or both if you have both installed. Undertale is for Windows installations of Undertale, and Undertale Linux Steam version is for Linux installations. Since I run the Linux version, this is the one I'm going to be using for this video. Create a shortcut to this and place it on your desktop. This way you can get to this folder very easily whenever you need to. Inside are your save files. You should see File 0, File 9, and Undertale. You may also see something called File 8. If you ever see these, just simply delete them to true reset. This will delete your save files and you will be true reset ready to go. Just do this at the beginning of every single run you do. With that out of the way, you're pretty much all ready to go now. You can go ahead and start doing speedruns of Undertale on your own. If you would like a full... Hey everybody, this is... Any sort of questions about speedrunning, you can... You're pretty heavily... Hey, what's up everybody? My name's Shay, and this is going to be a video tutorial on how to speedrun Undertale any percent or neutral ending, whichever you prefer calling it. This video is going to go over pretty much everything, multiple different like setups and strats for the neutral ending. It's also very important that if you're using this guide to also look at the text guide that can be found on the speedrun.com page under the guide section. This is meant to be a video that goes along with that guide because that guide has very detailed images and stuff for pretty much everything. This is just going to be showing like what I do, how to do it, what it looks like in video form. So let's begin, shall we? After you've true reset and you've made sure you're in regular, not debug mode, you can go ahead and start. I will be in debug mode for this guide, which is only for demonstration purposes. Regular runs are not to be submitted in debug mode, and I'll talk about that when we get to Flowey. I'll have to switch out of debug mode. Anyway, when you start, you're going to want to name your character, or your save file one character for optimal text. This saves about a second in neutral. It's a lot more impactful in the other categories, honestly. So if you want to meme or whatever, name it whatever you want, you're only losing like a second. Anyway, timer will start on yes. Obviously, I'm not timing this because this is a guide, but as soon as you click yes here, that would be when you start your timer. So as the game begins here, you're going to be holding right. You want to hold right because you're going to start moving immediately. And you're just going to make your way in here. And you're going to start mashing the text really quickly. Hold up and left here for Flowey's dialogue. This part's unskippable, so just mash enter and Z here. You want to be in the top left of the box because that top left friendliness pellet will hit you first.
Okay.
And then you're going to want to go to the bottom left of the box because when Toby Fox was designing this little ring attack here, it's actually completely off center. And the bottom left is very close to the box compared to all the other sides, so you'll hit it earlier.
Okay, but...
You're going to want to hold up and then start piano mashing as Toriel comes by. You're going to want to hold up and then start piano mashing as Toriel comes by. And you're just going to walk into the next room. This room's pretty straightforward. It's just a straight shot. In this game, when you move diagonally, you retain the same exact forward momentum. So moving diagonally is super overpowered. Hold diagonally upright and then like this. And then you hold up and down against these switches in order to press them as soon as possible. Pretty simple stuff. Here you're going to interact with a dummy, and then when you get to the dummy, what you want to do is hit right, go to act, Z, and then Z again, and then go to talk, and then start mashing. This is the fastest way to get past this because there's no animations or anything. So moving to this next room, movement's pretty simple. You're going to flee from this encounter immediately, so just left, down to flee. Obviously, you can speed that up, and I'll be speeding that up considerably as we go through the guide because there's a lot of encounters you got to flee from. There's nothing you can do to speed this part up. You're just watching, you know, Toriel take you through here. You're going to start mashing right here and hold right. And during this part, there's nothing to do, so it's a good time to explain movement. As you can see here, I don't slow down when I move diagonally. Like, my right momentum doesn't ever decrease. So diagonal movement in Undertale is really powerful because of this. It's not like how you'd expect. You actually move faster when you're moving diagonally, but like it's still the same speed as if you were moving horizontally. You don't move any slower is what I'm trying to say. So diagonal movement's really optimal. Entering this room, you want to hold down right so that you start coasting into this next room immediately. There's like a 50% chance you get an encounter in that room. If you do, flee from it. This next room, it's like a 10% chance to get an encounter, which I did get. So if you get an encounter here, you're going to want to look and see if it's Whimsun or Frogget. If it's Whimsun, you go immediately to spare it. If it's Frogget, you have to run away because you can't spare it. If you want to, in neutral, there is a strat where you kill Whimsun, which I am going to be showing off here. That's what I do personally. It's like a super advanced strat, but it saves about a second overall. For newer runners, I honestly just recommend running away or sparing, because killing Whimsun strats is little bit bizarre. But you're going to want to mash as you enter this room. After mashing the first two text boxes, you're going to want to hold up and right and just hit Z to interact with this text box and close it. And because you did that, that actually skips the phone call that's supposed to play right here. You're always text box and close. You're going to want to hold up and right and just hit Z to interact with this text box and close it. And because you did that, that actually skips the phone call that's supposed to play right here. You're always going to get an encounter in this
Wow,
room.
that's OP.
Same thing applies if it's Whimsun, spare it. If it's Frogget, run away. Or you can kill Whimsun. If you've already killed Whimsin, like you got an encounter earlier, then obviously don't kill Whimsin again. You only need to do it once. So this room, you only need to interact with the bottom rock here. You're just gonna get onto like the top right.
Wow,
of
I
the
didn't
rock
even
and
know you
just
could
have it
do
push
that.
you. Like this. You're gonna want to move over and then move back immediately, and that can sometimes happen. I'm actually really glad that that happened because that's RNG. If that happens, you can start moving again earlier than you're supposed to. That's called rock skip. So as you're moving in here, you just talk with Napstablook, go to act, and then the bottom right option 4 times in a row, which is cheer. I mean, you know, just dodge these attacks.
Here's your 2.50 cents every month.
Also, yeah, an important part of the Napstablook fight is, of course, subscribing to me on Twitch. You should do that. You know, only 60% of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed, so make sure. Anyway, after doing cheer for 4 times, the fight ends. Make sure not to select any other option on the 4th turn, or else you're going to be stuck, and you should probably just reset. Anyway, head through this next chamber, hold up and right, and then you can just hold right. Start mashing here. There's a phone call from Toriel. Hopefully you don't get an encounter. There's a chance to get an encounter. If you get an encounter in any of these rooms, from that one to the last room of ruins, just run away automatically. You can't spare any of them. You just, like, instinctually run away. Like, I'm just gonna, boom, I'm gone. Hold down and right entering that room there. You can't get an encounter in this room. You gotta interact with this switch here in this room, and then make your way out. In this room, you're gonna interact with the top left switch here. Got an encounter. And then this switch is the one you're gonna interact with. You're overwhelmingly likely to get an encounter in this room, so just run away from it. Sometimes you don't, though. Here, you're just gonna move up to the top, start mashing as you enter this room. Toriel's got some text here. And you're just gonna go ahead and enter in Toriel's house here. You're gonna hold up and right as you enter in, because you're gonna go to the right. Hold right entering this room and start mashing. Hold left here, and then start mashing, so that you'll start moving immediately. Don't get the pie in neutral. There's no reason to get it. Interact with Toriel here is, you need to interact with her to the 4th choicer. She's gonna ask you 4 choicers, so just keeping track of that. 1, 2, 3, and then on the 4th here, you're gonna want to do how to exit the ruins. And then obviously you just go down here. Start mashing. There's just a bunch of garbage text in this room. Alright, so here's the Toriel fight. I'm gonna go ahead and save with debug mode here, in case I need to talk about something again. So, Toriel, in this next little part, where you have to go hide behind the lamp. But I want to move right out of, and after you get Sans' little text box, you're free to go here. Hold down right, and then there's also one more text box you need to mash right here. Alright, so this next part, you're gonna want to move right, and you're gonna save at the save point here. You don't actually have to save. You can cancel out of this if you want. I recommend saving though. And then walk up to the box here, and then take the tough. You're walking in like in the middle of the room. It's this row of tiles underneath this window here, like right under the where the Delta rune is. This line of tiles. So here's the trigger. You'll basically be right in the middle of the tile. And there you go. Once you do that, walk over to the right, and right about here, hold up. And that'll slide you into the door. If you're uncomfortable doing that, just hold right for a longer period of time, and then press left and up. And that'll skip scans entirely. Go ahead and walk back in.
Whoa. And
now we're gonna do a wrong warp. Get to this pixel right here where Frisk's feet are at like the trim of this door. Wrong warp up. Again, you can save here if you wish. Here's another wrong warp. So, get to this pixel right here where Frisk's feet are just under the door. Wrong warp. And this is a mandatory one because it skips Asgore's cutscene here, so this one saves about a minute. And then walk up against this wall here and tap up once. Or actually, no, it's twice, my mistake. Tap up twice and get into this position, and you can wrong warp. If you accidentally walk into the next screen and back, that's okay. Walk up against this wall, and now you only have to tap up 1 time. If you come back in from the next room, you only have to tap up once. If you come in from the wrong warp, you have to tap up twice. And wrong warp here. This is our final save before Asgore, so before I head in, I'm going to quickly edit, cut, and make sure all my save stuff is correct for Flowey, and I'm out of debug mode. I'm going to turn off debug mode because debug mode messes up Flowey. So I'll be right back. Okay, now that I've gotten myself out of debug mode, we're going to talk about the Asgore fight. Again, you should have the pan equipped as you enter. So, Asgore. This is the part of the run in which you need to use the burnt pan. I don't really have any advice other than practice. This is the part of the run that is the most difficult, I'd argue. In order to get the most optimal Asgore possible at level 4, you're going to need to hit every single attack with the burnt pan perfectly. Hitting an attack with the burnt pan perfectly is called a quad. If you ever hear a speedrunner say quad, that's what we mean, because there's 4 bars and you need to hit them all frame perfectly. So in total, that means to get the most optimal, super, mega, awesome Asgore, which we like to call Taskore, like tool-assisted speedrun and Asgore, you need to hit 36 frame-perfect inputs in a row. World record doesn't even have that. So don't feel like you need to, but I would definitely recommend, highly recommend practicing the burnt pan here, because it's an item that is useful in all categories. So just swing right at them. And it's okay if you end up missing a lot, it's totally fine. I sucked at this when I was a new runner. So once you get the timing down, you just gotta keep practicing. As you see, I missed one. I'm not perfect, even though I hold world record for for this game. Even I mess up Asgore a lot. As for practicing Asgore, there is a fantastic Asgore practice tool made by OceanVagel, which I believe is available either in the Undertale Discord or in the speedrun.com page. Either way, it's there somewhere and is very, very useful for practicing quads. So, Asgore turns. If you miss, I'm sorry, let's go over this. At level 4, if you don't miss any quads, you'll get a 9 turn. If you miss 1 or 2 and get a 10 turn. You can miss 3, 4, and sometimes 5, depending on your rolls, and still get an 11 turn. If you hit about half of your quads, if you hit like 4 quads, you're basically guaranteed a 12 turn at least. And anything beyond that, the minimum, if you just hit like standard hits, not any quads, you're gonna get like an 18 or a 19 turn. So this is turn 11 here, I can tell because of what attack it is. This is turn 12. So if I kill him here, I will get a 12 turn, which is pretty decent. There we go. Alright, so after you've disposed of Asgore, regardless of how long it takes you, that was a 12 turn, which is like a good goal to set for early speedruns. Like 12 turn is like good. Like my very first, my first ever world record for this version had a 12 turn in it. Like you can still get really good times with a 12 turn. I can still get a 55 with a 12 turn if I wished. So after you dispose of Asgore here, go ahead and hold left and immediately select fight. Just start mashing that and you'll kill him. Sparing him just wastes time. He dies either way. And it doesn't really, yeah, he ends up dying either way. Because Flowey kills him regardless if you don't, so. No need to feel bad about it. Okay, hello, I'm back. I had to do some stuff with my save data there, and also I want to show this in an easier way for you guys to follow. So I'm going to use display capture here for a moment. So this is what my Undertale looks like. I want to talk about how to load here optimally. So I have, as you can see, I have a shortcut to Undertale right here, and here's what we're going to be doing. So once you start up with Flowey here, it'll show you kill or be killed, and you want to time your load. So you want to wait, have ready to launch, now. And as you see, you'll pop right into the Flowey fight. And there you go. That's how you load that optimally. You'll know if it's correct if the text doesn't make a scroll sound. And then you're good to just go ahead and interact with the save point here. I'm going to go back to my layout now. capture bud? Okay, I don't know why that was like that. There we go. Okay. So, this cutscene, unskippable text. Not much to really talk about here. Undertale? You want to capture bud? Okay, I don't know why that was like that. There we go. Okay. So, this cutscene, unskippable text. Not much to really talk about here. It's just a cutscene. Like, there's not much to go over here. Just mash Z.
Oh, and forget about skipping your save file. It's gone forever. Don't worry, you'll find flowers. There's wicked replacement for you. I'll save over your own death. Then you can watch me tear you to bloody pieces. Over and over and over again. Okay. So, Flowey. Regarding all the jank that it took me to get here, as long as you're not in debug mode, everything works perfectly fine. I just had to do some weird stuff to get me out of debug mode, so don't mind me. Anyway, there is not much to really talk about in the Flowey fight. It is almost entirely dodging.
Hey everybody, this is going to be an updated video guide on how to start speedrunning Undertale. Since I published my old guide, there have been a lot of changes that make this process significantly more streamlined and a lot easier. So this is the definitive guide on how to start speedrunning Undertale and how to set yourself up. Alright, so here's how you get Linux 1.001. Go to your Steam and right-click Undertale to go to Properties. Go to Betas and then opt into the old version 101 beta. After you've done that, go ahead and install the game at the normal place. While that's installing, we need to go quickly grab a couple of things. The first is a program called Floating IPS, which can be obtained at supermarioworldcentral.net. Simply click this button right here, Floating IPS, and it will download right here. The other thing is from the UndertaleSpeedrun.com page. Head over to the Resources tab and scroll down to Patches. You're going to want to quickly grab 1.001 Linux on Windows patches. Now, I already have all of this stuff installed, so I'm not going to show that, but yeah, that's what you do. So after doing that, Undertale will install. We need to navigate to the game files. So, we're going to DLL. This will just from getting on our way because Cloud. Go ahead and open up that file we downloaded from speedrun.com. That is this folder right here. The Linux folder. Open it up and there will be 2 patches and a readme. If you need more instruction on how to do this, the readme is very detailed and will give you the exact process of what you need to do. The first thing we're going to patch is the data.win. Go ahead and start and use it. Navigate to your installation of Undertale that you just installed and find data.win. It should be at the top of the folder. If you don't see anything, make sure to change from most common ROM files to all files. Then name the patch client, whatever you want. In this case, we're just going to name it data.win and replace the old one because we no longer need it. Patch was applied successfully. The next patch is for the runner, otherwise known as the .exe. Anything, make sure to change from most common ROM files to all files. Then name the patch client, whatever you want. In this case, we're just going to name it data.win and replace the old one because we no longer need it. Patch was applied successfully. The next patch is for the runner, otherwise known as the .exe. So scroll down, it will be at the very bottom of the folder. Undertale. Open. Now name this Undertale.exe. Replace it, and the patch was applied successfully. And there you go. You now have a fully functioning, completely patched Linux 1.001.
Am I at 105? Wow. Nah, I'm at 1.08. Oh my god. What the fuck? Is this made with Game Maker Studio?